Wiley!
Where are you?
Basically, well, you know what? Yeah, basically, this podcast today was obviously supposed to be the podcast that everyone wanted to see. But I knew that it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course it's not going to happen. He's a person where, like, we had the conversation, obviously, but we've had conversations before, innit? So, and then we all know the only way that conversation was going to happen is if we actually did it at the time that he messaged me.
Yeah.
If I said come to the studio right now,
he would have been on it.
He would have been here and we would have done it. But you know what? Honestly, God's honest truth, I wouldn't have even wanted to have the conversation at that point, even if it was on the cards. I want to have a conversation with him just while he's not feeling like that. Yeah. And it's just calm and we just have a conversation. Because yesterday when he was doing what he was doing online and that, and he had the conversation with A. He was evidently just at the end of his tether, bro. I don't even know if you even heard the conversation that he, because obviously he was messaging saying, he messaged or tweeted and said, interview me. So like, obviously everyone's underneath there. I'll do it, whatever. But A. managed to get it from One Extra and like they're talking on the phone. And he's pissed off. Yeah. He's just at the complete, he woke up that day and he was just extra vexed. But he weren't like, this isn't a thing where he just woke up and these were just feelings that he just had that day. Yeah. He obviously had been feeling these things and he has been he's been talking about it for a long time. But like, there's a lot to kind of sort of unpack on that. But before I even do that, yeah, I do want to give him an honourable shout out for even starting a podcast, by the way. Because a Wiley podcast right now is definitely something that I think is perfect for the scene. Wiley just sitting down and having a conversation with himself, or maybe somebody that like sitting down with him and, you know, sort of gauging the conversation and making sure that like just steering the conversation to a degree. Do you get what I'm saying? But like, this is something that I think that if anyone was to be doing this from a long time, yeah, it's most definitely him, because he's got some of the most interesting opinions that I don't always agree with, but there's meat on it though. Yeah. And there's things to discuss.
For the conversation.
Yeah, 100%. So providing he's got somebody to sit down with him and do that, that's sick. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I'm conflicted about some of this stuff, man. Like, let's talk about Drake, for example.
Go.
Drake has forever been topic of discussion when it comes to UK and shit, yeah? And like, some people just hate the fact that he embraces the UK culture and people think that he's a culture vulture and all of these things, yeah? But like, I just think, can't a man just like something and just want to do it?
I was just about to ask you, can't a guy like something and make money off of it? Because there's no point denying that he hasn't made money off of like certain relationships that he has with people in the UK, but that's fine. But is it possible to genuinely love something and make a financial gain off it?
Yeah,
of course.
Because I feel like people don't think that's possible. I think that's bullshit.
And that's obviously, people think that he's like trying to leech onto something. Look, there's arguments to say that is possibly the case. The way that I look at it, yeah, this is Charlemagne says it best. Yeah, Charlemagne says if you can't be used, you're useless. Yeah, I personally think what he's saying, yeah, is sometimes people get this brother thing mixed up too much. So like, it seems as though everyone's the best. Like when you're doing well, when everyone's doing well, we're all brothers, and this is good, by the way, because I'd rather it that than man be out there warring and there be enemies and all of these type of stuff. I'd rather it be that, if it had to be one of the two. But sometimes what it is people get this like, I love you, brother stuff, all of this thing mixed up, and then it kind of, when a business move happens, people start questioning, right, like, you don't really love me, but you don't really love it as much as you say that you do. But you know what? There's a business opportunity in something. Someone's seen a business opportunity and they've jumped on it. And I don't always think it's a bad thing. For example, I didn't think Drake jumping on a Dave record was a bad thing. I could only see it as a positive purely because even if Drake was on a vibe of, I need to find a new young buck from London, that I could kind of jump on a bit and like, you know what I mean, get in with the youths a little bit. Do you get what I'm saying? And just do something with them. I'm not even mad at that, you know.
No.
Do you know why I'm not mad at that? Because him doing that, what that does for Dave is more important to me than what it does for Drake.
Yeah.
Or how I feel that it does for him. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that changes a man's bank account. It changes a man's life.
Yeah.
It changes a man's family. It changes a man's brethren's lives. It does all of these different things than it just being the one thing. But there are culture vultures. Of course there is. There are people that come in and leech off the culture or, you know, make money off it and don't invest back in it and stuff like that. But if that's what culture vulturing is, if it is a person who leeches from a culture and doesn't invest back into it, isn't the fact that Drake invested in Top Boy, doesn't that eradicate that conversation?
There's a lot of things that Drake's done that would eradicate the conversation, to be honest. Like, I think he's actually invested in what we have over here. Like, he likes it. He's a fan of it. I proper just think he's a fan of what we've got over here. And it's weird because I hear what Wiley's saying.
Definitely. So do I.
I hear what he's saying. I just think there's so much evidence in Drake's favour.
Yeah.
That it's just, you can't call him a culture vulture. But I get what he's saying.
Wiley's
so obviously,
not all
I don't
wrong.
know. I don't know as much as Wiley knows. Obviously,
of
he's saying
course.
that certain people are trying to sign certain people for all of this.
But that's kind of like
yeah.
what I wanted to kind of speak to him about as well. Is like, what I would like to know is sort of, just on a curiosity vibe, just sort of his relationship with, because he'd been going to Toronto for fucking God knows, before anyone was even talking about going to Toronto. So I'm going to take an educated guess that there's certain relationships that he's had with certain people from over there and whatever that might have turned a bit sour or whatnot. But, or maybe not, I don't know, But also, there's that, but then there's also a man who like just loves what's going on here and is very protective of what's happening here, and he doesn't want to see man getting shafted. Do you get me? And I'm not mad at that. No, I'm not mad at a man saying, yo, you lot are blind right now. Like, you open your eyes a little bit. Yeah. This is the information I'm going to give you. Yeah. Take this information and whatever you decide to do with it, you want to do with it. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you're making it, you may think that a man loves you and that a man loves this, but really this is not what he's doing. It's a business opportunity, and just be mindful of that. And I'm not even mad at the business opportunity side, bro. I swear to God, I'm not. You see, like with the Top Boy thing, this to me wasn't even about, Noisy, I did a little documentary of them and stuff, that went out, and they titled it Drake Saves Top Boy. And I know some people was a bit like, he didn't really save it. Yeah. And the titling sounded a bit mad. And maybe the titling could have been a bit, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But like, to me, this wasn't even about Drake investing in it. It was about an investor investing in it. And it so happened to be Drake, who is a fan of this thing. And we could have done it. Yeah. And Wiley said in the interview that he did with A. We've got like 13 millionaires. Like, we could have done it. Yeah. So that proves the point. Why didn't we do it?
Why didn't we do it?
Man, like, Drake could have literally been sitting there, watched that thing, and then being like, right, how comes this thing ain't happened? Channel 4 didn't commission the other thing. What is everyone else doing? No one's doing nothing. Bruv, I got hundreds of mils in the bank. How much money do you need? A quick 5 mils I can invest, 5 mils, sorry, I can invest in whatever it may be and see a little return on that. I'll do that. And the culture wants it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get me? But that goes back to us. Remember when we had the film directors here, Femi was one of them. Femi said when they were doing, what was that film? The Intent. He was like, I reached man, I shouted man. I said, yo, need a quick 50. Yeah. Might need a 100 or whatever it is. Can you like line me up? Man was like, yeah, of course. Yeah, what do you need it for? It's for the scene, it's for the culture, whatever. Yeah. You see, when it was time to do this.
Time to get the money out.
Yeah, of course.
You see when it was time for, when a man said, you know what, boom. this is my sort code and my account number.
I'm gonna blur that just in case.
Yeah, that's it there. Send it in. If you can send it in by Monday, it'd be great because I've got to pay for blah blah blah.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, man's phone's not.
Yeah.
We're not. It's not. We're not brothers anymore. It's not love anymore.
Yeah.
So if a man's gonna come in and see an opportunity,
Yeah.
and it's a big thing, I can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
No.
I hear that.
The Ed Sheeran thing, I did understand a bit more though.
You did understand
You
a bit
did.
more.
That's
did
surprising.
Wiley made some interesting points still.
Hit me because I don't think I read everything that he wrote or said.
You know, like everyone always says, yeah. Obviously, Ed Sheeran, like, has been doing grime for years.
For what? Since what day?
But it's not grime.
He hasn't.
He was just rapping kind of fast.
Nah, he just, and even then he wasn't.
Yeah.
Go and like, even then, like, go and listen to like Collaborations 5. He's got the man them on there. It's not really grime. It's a bit more like, it's his thing. And Wiley's kind of on the vibe of, look, yeah, it's his thing. Don't come to me on this thing of like, he's been doing grime, like he's gone to fucking Rinse FM and done all of it. He hasn't been doing that. Like,
Not of late. You could have caught him at Rinse FM when in the SBTV days when he was doing all that shit. 100%.
did he go to Rinse FM?
I could put
I don't
money
think
on
he
that.
did. Go on then, search it.
Go on. No, I
Search
put
it.
money on it.
So yeah, put money on
Go
it.
on.
But yeah, I want you to
got
type
5
Ed
minutes,
Sheeran
sometime.
Rinse FM. Yeah? Do you know what? Somehow
Put it
it
into YouTube.
wouldn't surprise me if he was there, to be
Nah,
fair.
he wouldn't.
It would shock me if he wasn't.
It wouldn't shock me if it wasn't.
It would shock me if he was there.
It would shock me if he was there.
Really?
His thing, Wiley's thing was, yeah, that like, it's like, sometimes it comes across like he's doing something for the man them, when really it was the man them that was doing something for him that helped put a spotlight on him.
Yeah.
So like, for example, the Collaborations 5, it was all the man them that was on there, whatever. And also, even when he says that, yeah, my first time of seeing Ed Sheeran was that Sunday show. The Ed Sheeran, it was full of black people in there, and there was just one ginger kid in there.
Yeah.
And I remember, I say this story all the time. When I saw him setting up, I was going to leave because I didn't want to sit there and watch people laughing at this ginger guy who's about to do something shit. Because that's what I thought was going to happen. He's going to be shit, and man are going to just laugh at him. Like, I'm not really trying to do, I've just got too much of a big heart for that.
Yeah.
He just ended up being really good at it and like won everyone over. So it was almost like he made a conscious decision to be in this world and win everyone over in this world.
Knowing that it translates over to the rest of the UK.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear that.
But I'm not mad at it again, though.
I can't find anything to be fair.
All right, cool. So
I
how
can't
much you
find
giving
anything.
up?
I'll give you a £5.
The only reason why I'm not mad at this so much, yeah, is because maybe it's just that, like, we watched this thing growing up, and we saw a man doing this thing for love and not making up that much money from it. Kano talked about on his album, I used to do raves for Ingrid, waiting for £80 in an envelope or whatever. I remember when man was doing all of that type of stuff, So when I see like the man them shining, I just love it. Like I just love it. I might not always love the music, but I just love that. So for me, in my head, I think, okay, Gets did something with Ed Sheeran. That goes onto the streaming services. Gets a percentage of that. Might not be massive, but he gets a percentage of that. Then Ed Sheeran does a massive album, which is like wide world all over the place. Then all of these new fans go back and stream the other thing that Gets is on. So it's like every quarterly when that PRS money comes in, Gets his bank is fat.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
How much has Ed got to gain from doing stuff with grime artists now at this point in his career?
It depends on what you're looking at.
If
you're
I'm
looking
just
at legacy,
asking the question. I don't know what to look at.
If you're looking at legacy and you're looking at credibility, a lot.
Loads.
Okay, you think he's getting a lot of credibility?
A lot.
Okay.
By
You don't
coming
think
back
there's so
and
much
by
of
coming back and
financial-
doing something with Stormzy, JK, H,
Yeah.
and do you know what? Not even so much H, just Stormzy and Spyro and JK. I'd say the only reason why I don't say H is because he's like very new to this thing and like there's a lot of kids that like him, whatever.
The
but
legacy
in
thing
terms of
isn't
like
necessarily so.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
Fair enough then.
I can see it. But it's almost a fair exchange to a degree in my sense.
Yeah,
in my
it is.
because everyone's gaining
it's a
from
very
it.
fair business deal.
Yeah.
Everyone's gaining from it. Is Ed Sheeran directly putting money into the grime scene?
No.
Some people will say no.
Does he?
But there's
have
an
to?
argument to say yes.
Does he have to
Yeah,
put money into
indirectly.
the grime?
Indirectly, he is
Yeah.
because indirectly, it's got like maybe not the scene so much, but individual artists. How much? It would be really interesting to find out how much certain people are making off PRS just off Ed Sheeran.
It's safe to say a fair check.
But Wiley's thing was, that's cool, but when we need you, we can't see you,
I hear
and
that.
I understand that.
So when you shout us for a feature, I don't know Ed Sheeran like that. So I'm not sure how contactable and how if someone was to shout him for a feature, would it be nice, and would it happen? And you see what I'm saying? Whereas if he shouts people for features, it looks like people understand the benefits of that feature. So it depends. Like, can you see him? If you can't see him when you need him, then we do have a bit of a problem.
Well, that's Wiley's whole thing. He's saying everyone, as soon as Ed needs people, everyone's jumping to this whole thing or whatever. But when they need him, you can't really see him.
Yeah, but
now
it's
for you,
vague.
I
He's
agree with you because I don't know. Ed Sheeran could completely disagree with that and say,
Yeah.
man can call me. Like, no one's... Maybe, you know, sometimes what happens is, I'm not saying this is what happened, but sometimes what happens is, you see when somebody hits such a big level of stardom, and you know them, you feel like, you know what, I don't even want to ring a man and ask him, because I don't even want him to tell me no, for it to be a thing now.
Yes, yeah.
Because I'm going to hold that a little bit.
Yeah.
I know practically Ed isn't the most easy person to contact because there was definitely a point where he didn't even have a phone. Email was the only way to get a hold of him. I don't know if he still does that, but I'm pretty sure he's not the easiest person. You can't just necessarily message him, even if you are boys. No. I don't think it's that easy.
Well, Wiley said as well that, like, because he done a song with him called You, and because he was saying, yeah, cool, I did that, but when I shouted him for a thing, he was like, he folded. The label, there was all these label talks and this, that, and the other, and whatever, and he didn't once stand up and say, "Yo, nah, this is my guy. Like, let's really make this happen because he's done something for me."
Yeah.
So I understand that. I do understand
That
that,
is a fair
but
point.
I don't know. I mean,
I think this stuff comes down more to business deals than anything too
it's
personal.
always business, though, bro.
Yeah,
It's
that's
always
what-
business, and that's
what
why
I'm
it gets
saying.
blurred. And I think that when you understand that it's always business, sometimes you won't get as mad or as upset because you understand that it is business. And I think Wiley fully understands that it is business, and he said that he doesn't care, but he does care. He does care.
Yeah.
But like, but he also understands it's business, but it just winds him up because it's like, and that's natural, innit? Like, you're gonna be in business, you actually are just gonna be pissed off if you feel like you see a man moving sideways and all of these things.
Yeah.
But with Drake, man, I don't know, man. It's hard to watch people just like
Kill him.
diss him like that because there are some things that can be like questionable and that, but you know, when you just look at certain people that you fully respect, like you hold to a high degree, there's certain people that you hold to a high degree. When that person turns around and says, "Nah, man, my man's cool," it's hard to turn around and disregard that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
enough man
100%.
that I know that I hold to the highest degree have turned and said, "Nah, bruv, this guy is actually cool, bro. He actually just loves this thing." Like, do you know what I mean? And he's got big dough, he's got big bank, and he's just trying to, you know what I mean? He's just trying to pattern up. What more has he got to gain from it? But he's got a lot to gain, of course. When people sit there and say, "Oh, like he's got nothing to gain," of course there's loads to gain. It's a fucking business.
Yeah.
Also, as well, do you know what I think people need to start talking about a little bit, which I thought what was interesting that Wiley brought up here, was the charting position. You know, like everyone like gets really gassed off their chart position. Yeah? I've been thinking about this for time, but I never said this because I didn't want to be the one. Not that I could ever be the person to solely change this.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to necessarily plant this seed in everyone's head now that everyone's shining and doing their thing. Yeah. and everyone's getting chart positions
Yeah.
and that. But like, the chart position actually, to a degree, is kind of air.
It is.
It
is.
From a perception point of view, it sounds amazing. You got a number 5 or a number 40 or whatever it is, and it's nice and it's good because growing up, the charts, from a society point of view, has always been a thing that is embedded in us that we're supposed to care about.
Yeah.
But really, if we're supposed to care about anything, shouldn't it be close to the end number? The end number of sales.
Of sales or of
If you're going to care about anything.
or of
equivalent
or of
sales.
money or
Just
whatever it is. the end
Whatever,
number,
yeah. Because if you get a number 1, okay, boom, I got the number 1 record in the country. But it might have been a low week.
No, yes, it could be, but I suppose
It could have been a low week.
Such a harsh way to look
Yeah,
at it.
yeah,
It's true,
yeah. Well, these are
On
things
another
that
day,
affect it.
sorry to interrupt you, Dan. On another day, that might have been a number 62.
Yeah, on another week. If you decided to drop your thing when
It's so
Stormzy
hard
did
to
and when
say,
Ed
but
Sheeran
it's
did
very
and when
true.
I wonder if these guys plan to stay out of each other's way.
Of course they do.
They have to, innit?
Oh, label, yeah, 100%.
Because of the
I've been in meetings where they've said, "Oh, so and so is dropping on that date,
So
we're
we'll
gonna do
make
a
sure
week
that
later."
we-
100.
But yeah, you're right to a degree. Ultimately, I think it comes down to I mean, look, bottom line, sales is what is gonna put you at number 1 or number 3 or number 5 or whatever it is. So if you've charted, you've done well. If you've got number 1, you've done well. You've done better than everyone else in that week or whatever it is. I remember when things used to stay number 1 for weeks.
It doesn't happen anymore.
Weeks.
So only Ed does that.
Weeks.
Only Ed does that.
Well,
what
only
I'm
the
saying?
top few artists in the globe do
Ed
that
and
anymore,
maybe
yeah.
and Tyler Swift.
Taylor.
Same thing.
Big art though.
Taylor Swift, yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
That was his
and
thing as well, isn't it? I swear
Justin
he was
Bieber
hitting
as
it.
well.
Huh?
Justin Bieber, yeah.
Yeah, nah,
Justin Bieber, when he
was
released
hard,
his
yeah.
thing, he had like 7 of the top 10.
So I
Or
suppose
something
that makes a
ridiculous.
big difference. But I think there's loads of ways to measure your success. So many ways to measure your success that you can kind of slice it and dice it whichever way that suits you. But ultimately, just make sure you get the bag.
Well, this is it. DJ Khaled was pissed that he didn't get the number 1. He lost that
Yes.
to Tyler, the Creator. Yeah. But once the end of the year comes, if you look at his sales, I'm not saying it is or it won't be, but you look at his sales, his might be really up there.
I think it would be
It probably would
more
be,
than
yeah.
Tyler, the
Really up
Creator's,
there.
yeah.
Well, Tyler's apparently was massive stuff.
Oh, is it?
Was
Oh,
it?
okay.
Yeah. But let's say that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, looking at the numbers, maybe that might be something to celebrate.
Yeah, but people-
January the 1st, everyone start putting up their numbers then.
Yeah,
and you
but
know, I don't
people
give a
care
shit
about
about
individual
that.
honours. It's like a golden boot or you see what I'm saying? Like
Ballon
it's
d'Or.
a manager of the month. It is like people care a lot about these titles because they've been made and they're part of history. And I got the number 1, that is huge. I got a top 3, that's huge.
And like, if you achieve
I don't
it, that's
even care
sick.
about
Like, I don't think we should downplay
Oh, of course
achieving
not.
a top 5.
Nice.
Like,
No
sick.
way.
Or a top 10. Like,
That's not what I'm
even
doing.
if it was an easier week, but that's still fucking sick that you beat
Of course.
bare man on it.
Yeah.
But do you know what it is, yeah? Like, that's not what I'm doing. At the end of the
I know
day,
that's not what you're
what you see as a success, I can't tell you what that is. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you could get an 88 and think that is fucking sick. Who
Yeah.
am I to tell you that's not sick? That's
That is
for
sick,
you.
yeah.
That is
There are
like,
people who are for example, you got Western.
yeah.
For me, like, you touched on like underratedness and all of that. Yeah, I don't think they're underrated. I think everyone rates them, but their chart positions, the chart, they don't chart as hard as
Morgan explained
as
it very
everyone
well.
else. But as in, it's probably like the worldwide. They get played everywhere and get bookings everywhere. So it's not just UK like they're on like so. It can paint different pictures depending on how you look at these charts and how you look at all of this shit.
Even the same goes for Halfcast. Like, we're in the Spotify top 100 on a regular, but like, and that's sick for us. When I see us at like number 60, that's cold. But like, it's very easy, I'm sure, for people to go, oh, well, there's 59 other people above you. But like, for us, that's cool. For me personally, I see that as a success. Yeah. But it's different for everyone, like you say.
Of course.
You can't even
It
measure
should be
success,
different.
man.
It
You can't.
should be measured.
How do you measure it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only really measure it yourself.
Yeah,
really.
that's
Yeah.
it. And everyone measures differently. So
Yeah. Well, talking of that, have you noticed there's been no real major award shows, like black ones anyway? Rated Awards wasn't on this year.
yeah, hold on, should that have happened by now? Or
Yeah, it was in Rated Awards was in September last year.
Also, they didn't put one on.
So nah, it's not happening. Mobile Awards ain't heard nothing from them yet.
Well,
I heard that they're supposed to be.
They skipped last year and
Yeah.
said that they were going to do one this year.
Apparently, there's talk that they're doing something in November. But isn't it usually by now they'd start making
nominees and
yeah. Well, no, nominees would maybe October then. But like,
I mean, it could
by now, yeah, it could still happen. But now you'd start surely. I remember Mobos used to do a Mobo tour, or they did a couple of times anyway. They did a whole Mobo tour with a bunch of artists and stuff.
I'm gonna ask someone.
But yeah, but you know what? For me personally, and obviously it's different, but for everyone else, but I'm not too bothered about that type of stuff. Everyone's obviously enjoying their life and living. I think usually people only massively care about award shows when they've had the sickest year.
yes, when you've had a sick year, you care
When your
about these
year's
shows.
been lit, you
Yeah.
want that award show.
Yeah.
Man was pissed
Yeah.
that the awards wasn't on last year because that meant that, you know, the award wasn't there for them.
Yeah. It's mad.